As the season changes from a warm summer to a cooler, dying fall, many of us can't help but be ready for the dark and scary nights leading up to one of the most popular holidays of the year, Halloween. Some of us, like myself, wait all year long to celebrate by decorating, telling scary stories, fooling our friends, and dressing up. Halloween may be one of the most fun times of the year for a lot of us, but how did all these festivities begin? Halloween as we know it today is all about the costumes, the candy, and the trick-or-treating. Halloween has evolved into what it is today from ancient times. The names, the traditions, and the superstitions that we know today came derived from those very, very long ago. With my undeniable love of all things dark and scary at Halloween, I've always been intrigued by how my favorite holiday came to be. Halloween is not originally called by that name. Over 2,000 years ago, the Celtics inhabited what is now present-day Ireland. There were many tribes of Celtic farmers who held festivals on November the 1st, but they began the night before, on October the 31st. The Celtics called this festival Samhain, which stood for Summer's End. According to History.com, this day marked the end of the summer of the harvest and the beginning of the cold and dark winter at a time of the year that was often associated with human death. They believed that because of these dark times, malevolent spirits could rise from their forever homes in the grave and walk amongst those who still roam the earth in life. The spirits were believed to do this on October the 31st, the night before November. History.com also stated that while Pope Gregory III was around in the 8th century, he dedicated November the 1st as All Hallows Day, which was also All Saints' Day. That day stood for all those who were saints. As the time went by, the festival Samhain also became known as All Hallows Eve, and it was later shortened to Halloween, which we know it as today. Halloween hasn't always been the fun and children-oriented holiday as we know it today. According to the video Bet You Didn't Know Halloween by thehistorychannel.com, when most people think of Halloween, they think of trick-or-treating, parades, bobbing for apples, and other family-friendly activities. Halloween has evolved into this from darker times. During the time of the Celtics, gifts were left on doorsteps in order to keep spirits happy and keep them from coming inside of people's homes. Over time, however, children would begin asking people for soul cakes during the festivities. This became known as a tradition called souling. The children promised to pray for the dead relatives of people who offered them cakes in return. The churches began to ask people to give out soul cakes instead of leaving gifts on their doorsteps in order to help the needy instead. This eventually led to what trick-or-treating is as we know it today. When the Celtics had to leave their home during All Hallows Eve, they would wear masks so that the malevolent spirits couldn't recognize who they were. They hoped that by doing this, it would allow them to roam in peace with the spirits. This is how the tradition of dressing up for Halloween began. Halloween is also coated with many superstitions. Many of them that we hear today are not walking under a ladder, trying to avoid breaking a mirror, and stepping on cracks in a sidewalk. However, traditions from the Middle Ages focused more on women trying to figure out their future love lives. One superstition was when they would collect hazelnuts, one for each person that they may marry. They would take these hazelnuts and throw them in the fire. Whichever hazelnut burnt up the quickest and turned to ash stood for the man that she should marry. Another superstition was bobbing for apples, which we play today as a fun game. However, in the Middle Ages, it stood for another way for women to find out about their future love life. Whichever woman caught an apple first would be the first to get married. Remy Molina on MyScience.com said, if the bobber lucked out and caught an apple on the first try, it meant that they would experience true love. While those who got an apple after many tries would fickle in their romantic endeavors. AncientSuperstitions.com even mentioned many weird superstitions, which included women stealing cabbages, hanging cabbages, and picking up cabbages after walking backwards. Superstitions have changed so much over time, evolving into the ones that we know them as today. So in conclusion, we can see that Halloween has gone through many changes, which has made it into the scary, fun, and exciting holiday that it is today. These were very significant changes throughout time, from Halloween changing its name from Samhain And there are also many changes in our tradition which we created, which created the traditions that we follow today. Many superstitions of today have also been derived from superstitions that have been in the past. Halloween has been through so much, it's hard to believe that it won't change anymore. However, whatever continues to change for Halloween, it will continue to be a holiday that we will all be able to enjoy for generations to come.